Hello everyone, my name is Phil Lewis. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Pureinsights. Over the next few minutes I'd like to show you a demonstration of our Pureinsights Discovery Platform, a platform that's designed to make your search engine projects work just like Google does, but over your own data. In 2012, Google added a knowledge graph to their search system, and over the next few years populated that knowledge graph with billions of data points, enabling users to ask questions and get answers directly from their searches. So if you pop into Google and ask it a question like this, then you get a response directly from the knowledge graph. Search engine results start down here, but this response has actually come from the knowledge graph itself. We ask it another question, vaguely related to that type of question, then we get the answer returned from the knowledge graph. Google also invented technology called BERT for when the answer can't be found directly in the knowledge graph. So a question like this will force Google to use its BERT technology to reach into the documents and to extract that answer using very advanced NLP techniques. In this case it's called featured snippets. The industry calls it Extractive Answers. And now, because a lot of these technologies are in the open source public domain, we can start to take these technologies and to build applications that provide search responses very, very similar to Google, and actually uses a lot of the Google open source technology that's already out there. And so querying your enhanced internal search systems for questions like this will return information directly from your own internal knowledge graph. Maybe that question is in French rather than English. The solution still works. Maybe the type of question is subtly different. Maybe the type of data that you have allows you to ask different types of questions. In this case we have a series of data elements on training plans or learning plans. Or maybe you have some questions about internal resources within the organization, like this. You might want to question and answer enable your product catalog, where you've got a lot of users coming into the environment looking for very specific information on the products that you have. In this case, we're looking for information on a 911 Turbo. Maybe we've got some questions on a Prius, specifically from 2015, or maybe you have some questions about a Mercedes car, or maybe you're just trying to allow your users to search for specific location-based data. So in this case we're looking for all urban locations. As you can see, they're scattered all over Europe, but if I change my question to be something like this, then you can see that we get a much more narrow version of that set of results. So far you've seen a lot of examples providing the information pretty much directly from the knowledge graph. What happens when the data is not in the knowledge graph already? How do we cope with that? Well, this is where we fall back onto Google BERT type functionality. So if I execute this kind of question, which is how much is Turkey contributing towards the ongoing costs of the European Union police force, and we can see that we've got an answer which has been extracted directly from the document body itself. So this information is not held in a knowledge graph, it's held within a document, and that information has been extracted. What's interesting about this interaction though is that even though we didn't know what the answer was in the question, the system is highlighting the answer in the part of the document that matches. So this is the power of Google BERT and featured snippets. So I'll just give you another example where we're asking that question in French, pretty much the same question, and we get pretty much the same answer. Now notice that this isn't an English document. We're not doing cross-language search here. We're actually just executing the search over a French document, and we found a French document which kind of gives us the same kind of response, but in French. Last question here for Extractive Answers. When did the DEA stop manufacturing ethylene byproducts? The answer comes back as early 2001. And what's interesting about this was the document doesn't say manufacturing, it says production. It doesn't say ethylene byproducts, it says ethylene derivatives. And this is just another example of the power of Google BERT when used in its open source form across, in this case, a Elasticsearch application can enhance that application immensely. And that concludes our brief demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. Combining traditional search with knowledge graph and AI technology is taking search to a whole new level and opening new possibilities. If you're curious to find out how this could deliver value to your organization, then please contact us for a consultation and more in-depth demonstration. Thank you.